Move on to the next topic. Babe, what do we have?
From Vanity Fair, the Long Island serial killings have some notable Hollywood connections. Let's run down the timeline that I'm totally out of the loop on and have no idea what's going on.
I mean, all the major networks were talking about this
I was on
because
TikTok
there was
looking at a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know what this is.
So there was a serial killer who's been at large since the early 2000 to 2011 and whatnot. There's been some unalivings in New York, and they were tied to this serial killer, and they made their arrest. And it turns out that this dude was I think he was a former agent. I don't know if it was FBI or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He was an agent. He's got some Hollywood ties. He's this dude named is it Heuermann or Heuermann, Rex Heuermann. And this dude's been on TV as a consultant. He's been all out and about, but he was a straight up serial killer.
Yeah, successful people can be serial killers too.
Yeah,
they're not most serial killers are incredibly intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
They tend to be able to mimic and deflect.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense.
I know that we were watching somebody talk about it, and it was very mixed. There were people that knew him or knew of him who were like, oh no, he's great, he's always blah blah blah, and then the other half of the people were like, that dude creeped me out.
I can
from day one.
Some people had the radar, some people didn't.
Cleared
right?
from this dude.
Yeah.
He was a weirdo.
And that may be a lack of masking in those moments. So that's one of those things they say. Serial killers have the ability to empathize, and when they empathize, they're high abilities to empathize.
Empathy?
They actually can empathize. That's how they're able to mimic, because they can empathize so well that they can replicate what the other person is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so but yeah, the mimicking aspect is, maybe their mask was down and those people got a glimpse of what the true self is, and they were like, oh crap,
the number of victims that they have.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot and there's one he's not being charged with, because I guess they haven't made the full connection.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, but yeah, there's
the Long Island killer.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I heard his wife's already filed divorce.
I hope so.
I'm out of that.
Jesus.
Quickly.
Yeah, exactly. This is not a stand by your man moment.
No.
But the one weird thing about this is, and I'll make this a clip. I forgot to hit I forgot to hit the record button for it. Anyway, that's something else. But the one thing I'm going to make a comparison to, when I saw that it was a situation where his wife obviously was unaware of it, and the cops were the ones who were the first ones to tell her about it. We talk movies here, so I'm not trying to be insensitive or anything about that, but there was a movie that I thought of when all this stuff started to unfold. It reminded me, have you ever seen that movie Freeway, starring Reese Witherspoon and
Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland.
No, I don't think I've ever heard of it.
It's what, early 2000s.
Okay.
It's called Freeway. It was about a white girl, Reese Witherspoon, who was born and raised in the hood. She's straight up hood. Her black boyfriend and all that stuff gets killed. She runs away from home, and then she gets picked up by Kiefer Sutherland, who turns out to be a killer.
Okay.
And the whole movie is themed around, it's a modern telling of Little Red Riding Hood. Kiefer Sutherland is the big bad wolf. She's Little Red Riding Hood.
Okay.
It's from 96.
It's 96. Oh, because
so
mid-90s.
She was really young when she
was. Because there was a few movies that she was in that were in the 90s where, she was young, but then she was getting it, because she did Cruel Intentions. Yeah.
This is before Cruel Intentions.
Yeah, so this had to have been before then.
But it's one of my favorite Reese Witherspoon movies, and for some reason, this reminded me of this because because the target of women that he targeted was women that he targeted, and it was that moment where the wife,
Brooke Shields
was the wife. It was his wife.
I had no idea.
And the insensitive cop that told her that they got a warrant for his backyard shed or something like that, and then all this evidence of pictures and video and
She
all
was
this
just,
stuff
like,
poured out.
bombarded with it, like,
yeah,
what
she just
the
got and
hell?
the cop was like so insensitive about it. Was like, oh yeah, look at this shit, like right here, blah blah blah. And she ran away, and his partner was all like, do you have to be that hard on her? And he was like, man, fuck her. Like he did not care. Because all these victims that went ignored, and he was pissed off about that. And then she went into the house and.
But then she's a victim herself.
Exactly, and that's why. I mean, because this is the '90s, but today, obviously, we would have been more sensitive about it.
But it's not even about a matter of being insensitive. I mean, women don't even know when their husbands are cheating sometimes. Why would, if somebody is this much of a manipulator and this much of
why'd you have to land on husbands? People cheat.
Well, because we were talking about a husband and a wife not knowing. But like, if cheating can go undetected, why in the world would somebody think that this could go undetected if they are skilled in the ways of creating this? I mean, hell, we made a show about it that was freaking amazing called Dexter. How many of his girlfriends and wives did not know?
He was able to mimic, like we said, empathy and all that stuff, and what hide in plain sight.
Was supposed to do and hide in plain sight. Hell, he worked for the police department. They didn't know it was him. Yeah. So we saying all those.
So
police
why exactly? Why would the wife know?
Yeah.
Exactly. You're right. What
Well,
was you
Reese
saying?
Witherspoon beat the crap out of him.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was so.
Hell yeah.
It went. It
So
followed
bad.
that big bad wolf, that Little Red Riding Hood story, to I mean all the way to the grandma part.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
it even went there.
I'm gonna go watch this.
This I'm telling you, watch this. Please watch this movie.
I love Reese Witherspoon, so that's an easy one for me. But there was another movie. She's, I guess, was in a lot of like risque movies as a young actress because, and I keep doing that. I should not have to call her an actress. She's an actor. But
woke.
I know, right? So, like, but she was in, wasn't it her that was in the movie where she basically gets some fun time on a Ferris wheel when she was young?
Oh, that movie now today is very Fear.
Oh yeah, with Mark Wahlberg. With Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah,
and you know what? I have a beef with that movie because that was during that time when Mark Wahlberg was acting like an a-hole, and he was, this is Rundown After Dark. He was an asshole, and he was doing a bunch of racist stuff back then, and he's trying to whitewash today, but it's evident.
Well, he was a douchebag.
He was a very big douchebag.
Well,
back then.
yeah, he was not
but
a good person.
then it was so hard because you're like, oh, but he's so pretty.
But he did.
I actually don't think Mark Wahlberg is attractive.
Because he has a penis.
I don't know. It actually has nothing. Keanu Reeves I'm in love with. So that
doesn't count. Keanu Reeves is every man's boy crush. That's like The Rock and Ryan Reynolds.
I would say Ryan Reynolds I find incredibly attractive. Ethan Hawke I find incredibly attractive.
You know, that's interesting. Every male that she will admit that she's attracted to as a lesbian is also equally what men will do that, with their boy crushes. So you're just a dude.
Well,
he was my type at the time.
Yeah.
But that movie definitely, the title and his acting.
Yeah.
Fear.
That was before she went black and didn't go back.
Oh.
Here we go.
Oh my God.
You like that?
God, he put in the eyebrows.
Like, yeah.
Mercy.
But real quick before we move on from this, but yeah, this guy he was just caught. They did a sting operation, and it's pretty evident. At this point he's not convicted yet, so we got to still say allegedly. But it's pretty evident that they got their guy, but he's pled not guilty. But there's
which is I think interesting. Him pleading not guilty. So
that's the way you got to do it.
But it makes me wonder if there's so much evidence and there's so many serial killers who, when they get to this point where they have so many tied to them, they just confess.
Yeah.
They take the credit. He's pleading not guilty, so it makes me wonder how he's going to proceed.
You think he's one of those guys that's like, I got so many evidence of unsolved crimes that you're gonna give me a better deal, something like that.
Yeah, I think I'm curious how he's gonna do this.
He's gonna play his
especially
card.
Since he apparently has a background,
like he has connections too. So yeah, and it really does kind of make you wonder where that's gonna go.
Yeah. So yeah, we have what was it? We have a rundown of the timeline of kind of what he went through. Baby, can you mind reading those off real quick?
The Suffolk County Police on Long Island have made an arrest in the Gilgo Beach serial killings case that has fascinated true crime enthusiasts for over a decade. The suspect, 59-year-old architect Rex Heuermann, has been charged with 6 counts of murder for the slayings of Melissa Barthelme, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello, and prime suspect in the 2007 disappearance and death of Maureen Brainerd Barnes, but he's not been charged in that case. Heuermann has pleaded not guilty to all charges. DNA evidence recovered from a discarded pizza crust and strands of Heuermann's wife's hair
That's what I was looking for.
allegedly matched evidence found on one of the victims. The victims, most of them sex workers, were found along a highway near Heuermann's home between 2010 and 2011.
Yeah.
Several other bodies have been found in the area in subsequent years, believed to be the work of the same killer. Rodney Harrison, the current Suffolk County Police Commissioner, reopened the dormant search for the serial killer last year and expressed confidence in solving the case. Rex Heuermann remains in custody without bail, and a 32-page document outlining the allegations against him has been filed by prosecutors. Lost Girls? Is that part of this?
That's the name of the documentary.
The doc, yeah.
Lost Girls is available for streaming on Netflix. Actor Billy Baldwin revealed on social media that he went to high school with the suspect. Baldwin clarified that his mention of DNA test kit 23andMe was in reference to forensic DNA testing, which can be used to link suspects to crimes.
That was one of the interesting things about the situation, that Alec Baldwin had Hollywood ties and things like that. So it's like, I mean, I guess the information might have leaked or come out anyway, but I mean, why even mention it? I wouldn't even have mentioned it.
I think maybe mentioning it in the sense of maybe he's trying to make sure that everybody knows he has ties so that he's held accountable. And
I mean, he just went to high school with the dude.
Yeah, but if you went to high school with him and then maybe he's saying, hey, he might have other connections.
Yeah.
Like, that would be my positive way of looking at it.
Yeah.
You know, trying to hope for the best. Does anybody else get freaked out? Like, in this picture, he looks like he's smirking.
I mean, he seems like one of those dudes that's like, I'm the smartest guy in the room, assholes.
Yeah,
you know?
like, he's smirking. It's freaking me out, man. I got him staring at me over here.
He makes me wanna, it's making me want to pee.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
He's not.
For me. He's not for me. He's not.
Oh, yeah. So, mother clutches. That's the same thing in Spanish, by the way. We appreciate it. Hey, guys, thanks for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button, like, and comment your thoughts on this topic or any topics that you think that we should talk about in upcoming videos. Also, you can follow us at T3 Medias on Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and we also have a T3 Media Studios podcast where we post our movie reviews and episodes of The Rundown. Till next time, guys.